Brotherless said that movies focus on good movies, everyone is handsome. Time is like a rushing river. No one can get out of it. The girl driving the car is waiting for her husband. Like waiting for death. He is pure white. As if wearing a white face. He is doomed. The ringing of the wedding bells. Take him away, take him away. Come fly, come, come. Forever for you. Young girl. Long, long ago. The dragon ravages the world. Human beings for peace. Every year, a beautiful girl is sacrificed to the dragon clan. Countless couples have suffered the pain of parting. Until a warrior. His love conquered fear. To save loved ones. The warrior traveled through mountains and rivers to find the dragon's lair. It's a pity that the warriors are still a step late. His beloved woman has been devoured by the dragon. The warrior is full of sorrow and anger. Converging all the anger into one blow. Killed the dragon. From then on, people can be freed from fear. And that warrior was also honored as the Dragon Slayer warrior by later generations. Year and month circulation. The pain of the past is forgotten. To commemorate the feat of the dragon-slaying warrior. Brutal sacrificial ritual evolves into wedding custom. Today there is another grand wedding. The Duke's youngest daughter Mira will marry the Dragon Slayer's grandson Igor. Mira doesn't care who she marries. All he cares about is the honor of the descendants of warriors. Tu Longyang is the wife of a direct descendant. Undoubtedly one of the most admired figures in the entire palace kingdom. Wedding day. Mira is totally fine. Sister is angry. It's a lifelong event to teach Mira a lesson in a mother's tone. Not child's play. Mila went to retaliate against sister. You are jealous of me. Because I got married before you. Keep waiting for your true love. The old girl and the sisters were having a hard time arguing. Father intervenes to stop them. Toss. After moving the bridal makeup. Mila as a monk. This is a strong marriage and kiss between a rich girl and 3 generations. The envious words of relatives and friends. Mira overjoyed. He is lying in the boat in a superior position, feeling the trivialities of the whole life. Groom, Yeagle, you are working hard to pull the marriage biography. It's not just the wife. It's a golden mountain. In order to thank Grandpa for his good deeds. Adele also sang the dragon song to summon the dragon. Anyway, there are no dragons now. But when the fainting boat was pulled into the middle of the river. A gust of wind hits. Evil Dragon Online World. He went straight to the boat. Easy to take away as a cool Mira. People are completely helpless. Mira was frightened and passed out. When I woke up, I found myself thrown in a narrow cave. Mira didn't see the dragon. Only found a little monster. Watching a young man from the other side of Shandong. This made Mira feel a little relieved. And this man is good looking. But what makes Mira feel weird is that man has no name. They don't seem to understand the ethics of civilization. Mira dealing with the wound on her back. Man staring straight at. I didn't show any shame when I was found out. He also asked innocently that I could see naked birds and beasts. Why can't I appreciate you naked? Mira can't help but guess. This must be a poor man imprisoned by a dragon since he was a child. So Mira named the man Armin. Men are happy with this name. The two have also been friends who shared weal and woe. They shake hands happily through the gap. At this time, Mina was suddenly and roughly dragged over. Armin shouted desperately that the dragon is coming. Hide and don't leave the cave. Voice just fell. The dragon is coming. He's crazy to get into the cave and take Mira. But the hole is narrow. Always to no avail. After tossing for a while, the dragon flew away. Mira was scared to death. After calming down, Armin is missing. Mila is distraught. He picked up a rock and smashed the cave wall. No one found. But crashed into the dragon again. For self-preservation, Mira had to hide in a narrow rock crevice. Tornadoes breathe fire. Mira can only keep running deep into the rock crevices. He climbed out of the mountain following the light. But at the foot of the dead cliff. At this moment, Armin is here. He blames Mira for not listening to him and staying in the cave. Mira is glad Armin is alive. Death in shock. That little monster actually obeyed Armin's orders. Mira couldn't help but began to doubt Armin's true identity. He stepped back step by step. Accidentally fell off a cliff. Armin had no choice but to jump. He hugged Mira. The whole body starts to burn. Moments later, the body completely exploded. Turned into a dragon. Armin is the dragon. The huge dragon body covered Mira and landed first. Mira is safe and sound. Armin was injured and passed out in the past. Mira picked up the stone to kill the dragon. But after all, I still couldn't make it. The little monster beside him hummed and chirped. Mila's heart is softening. He rescued Armin and dragged him back to the safety of the cave. In a coma, Armin still burns and draws dragons from time to time. This scares Mira enough. Death can never stay long. He was lucky enough to find a boat on the island. Just looking at the raging waves. Plus without any food storage. Mira still gave up the idea of fleeing. He returned to the cave and found that Armin was still unconscious. And the back is full of injuries. Mira found herbs to heal him. The night wind of the island is accompanied by cold rain and piercing. The two unconsciously cuddled together and spent a cold rainy night. Sunshine all day. Mila woke up to find that she had an extra layer of blankets on her body. Warm firewood rises on the stone platform. There is a just right fruit beside me after enjoying it. Mira finds Armin by the sea. Mira has too much confusion. Why did you bring him here instead of killing him? Why imprison him but desperately rescue him? Can you take him home? Armin thought for a while. Decided to continue the cause and effect in detail. A long time ago. A boy lived on the island. He lives with his father. His father was a dragon. Boy adores father. So I also look forward to being able to become a dragon when I grow up. Until one day. A woody fragrance floats from the sea. Contains things the boy has never seen. Unconsciously. Boy fascinated by human life. It's the age to draw dragons. Boys don't want to be dragons anymore. Father didn't say anything. Because drawing a dragon cannot be forced. Until today. A ship sailed from afar and docked. A man killed his father when he was off guard. Driven by hatred and anger. Boy turned into dragon. That moment. The memories of his ancestors have also been passed on to him. Hundreds of years. Countless girls were brutally killed by his ancestors. The boy clearly witnessed those experiences. Like doing it yourself. He realized that his father was a monster. And the monster inside him was awakened. Boys don't want to kill innocent people. But honored. He has been fighting with the bloodline. When feeling overwhelmed with pride. Will shut itself in a narrow crevice. People can pass. But the dragon can't. Until many years later. He was finally able to barely control the dragon in his body. But humans once again sang the song of the dragon. The call from the soul made Armin completely lose consciousness. When waking up again, Armin discovers Mira. So that Shandong is not the cage where Mira is imprisoned. But to protect his sanctuary. Armin also discovered that the dragon could sense Mira's presence. As soon as you touch Mira, the dragon will wake up and go mad. Now Mira can only wait for a warrior to come to the rescue. If the warriors can come, Armin won't stop. But the probability of success is very small. Or it depends on Mira's heart. Armin took Mira up to overlook. This island is the ancient Sea of Zulong. Armin's ancestors guarded here for generations. Although the sky looks clear from the inside of the island. But looking in from the outside of the island, it is foggy. Humans who came to look for Dragon Island were doomed to get lost in the fog. Unless the girl on the island has a strong love for the warrior. Love will point the way for the warrior like a lighthouse. So Armin said it's all up to Mira. Mila picked a bouquet of flowers like a prayer and said that in the human world. When a person receives flowers, feel loved, the relationship between two people will undergo a wonderful change. If you throw flowers into the sea, then your loved one can feel that you miss him no matter where he is. Mira threw the flowers into the sea. Hope Igor will rescue him soon. Before Eagle comes, Mira decides to help Armin live like a human. He believed that the kind Armin would be able to defeat the dragon in his body. They found a lot of human supplies floating ashore on the shore. Cleaning together during the day. Chasing and playing together. Drink and talk at night. Mira also taught Armin how to play the Order of the Dead. In the tender lullaby, Alman experienced unprecedented peace. To give back to Mira, Alman also gave his all. Showed Mira the wonderful ability of dragons to control the wind. The colorful petals dance in the sky to create a beautiful picture. Just a few days of getting along. Both had a great time. Armin even picked a bouquet of flowers. He vaguely hopes that something wonderful will happen to his relationship with Mira. But once he had this idea, the evil dragon in the body seems to be about to burst out. Alma was worried that she would end up hurting Mira. He impatiently rejected Myra's request to fly a kite, and asked Igor why he didn't come. Nanadad was snatched. Some snares that snatched. With a very clear "to my new spirit man. Drake in pretty range." This sentence made Alman so sweet that he was sad. Now I'm still thinking about whether I mean what I said. Immediately teach Mila to fly a kite. If you want to see the wind, you have to close your eyes and feel it with your heart. Feel the wind on your fingertips. Listen to his whispers. You'll find something you've never seen before. See where he is going. Follow his lead. For a moment Mira seemed to really feel something. He can't help leaning in Armin's arms. Touch his temperature with your fingers. But this brief contact made Armin's happiness start to agitate. He can only fly to the rock peak. Tortuous struggle. Alman. It took a long time to calm down. At this moment, Armin stumbled across a small boat in a corner. There are a lot of supplies and food. It turned out that Mira had been preparing to escape all along. Help him live like a human just to collect supplies. Learning the art of controlling the wind is to use the wind to go to sea. Alman collapsed in an instant. He called Mira to the altar on Dragon Island. Have you ever wondered why so many girls die here? But not a single body was left. The dragon will not kill the bride directly, but burn them alive, until their flesh was reduced to ashes. Then out of the ashes new life is born. Dragons reproduce by bathing in fire. This is how I was born. You will suffer the same fate if you stay any longer. Armin didn't blame Mira for wanting to escape. Mila is afraid, and rightly so. He was just disappointed. He's been battling the dragon inside him. Mira never believed him. Mira struggled to explain his fear. But Armin was disappointed that he didn't want to hear any more. He told Mira to leave by boat early tomorrow morning. Dongfang will send the boat to the open sea. I love you. The next day by the east wind. Mira left Dragon Island reluctantly and ashamed. The other side. A person is ready to retreat after searching for dragons in vain. He feels that he has not received guidance from his lover anyway. That means Mira doesn't love him at all. At this moment, there are fireworks flashing in the fog not far away. It's Mira who's all on her own. The golden mountain that flew away is back. Mira lied about a storm after the dragon took him away. The dragon unfortunately fell to his death. He fell on an island. There he found the boat by chance. Now that the dragon is dead, people also found. The rescued ships return to the port collectively. Wedding goes on. Mila is back in her wedding dress, accepting the envy and blessings of everyone. But he didn't feel any joy. At the same time, Armin stepped on the cliff sadly. Without that girl, whether you are a dragon or a human, I can no longer feel the meaning of life. Armin jumped off a cliff to avoid being a dragon. As he fell, he kept blowing a lullaby. At this time, Eagle pulled the boat closer and closer. Mira is getting more and more disturbed. Suddenly he got up and shouted, "I don't love you. I love that dragon." Made everyone laugh. Eagle is even more furious. Continuing, the family Mary pulls the boat like crazy. Mira undoes the magic trick. Get up slowly. Start humming a song. Time is like a rushing river. No one can get out of it. Married girl waiting for her husband. Like waiting for death. He is pure white. As if wearing a white face. He is doomed. The ringing of the wedding bells carried him away. Take him away, fly. Come down forever, young girl, for you. The end of the song. Dragon didn't show up. You pull the dust in your heart. Will we never see Armin again? Everyone thought the dragon would never come again. But suddenly the wind blows. The dragon is coming and he seems to be wounded. Not as fast as before. He's still heading straight for the bride. Mira accepted the dragon's capture without resistance. Ygritte is unwilling. Pull out the spear and slay the dragon. But was knocked down by Mira's prospective brother-in-law. He knows a man doesn't love Mira at all. Years later there was another child on the island. He longs to draw dragons and fly when he grows up. The dragon has been saved. Became a father. And the dragon girl who obeyed her heart got rice wine and firm happiness. He is a Dragon. It is a work released in 2015 directed by Andarjan Dubayev. This is a love movie that won T-Hurt by looking at the appearance, color matching and listening to the soundtrack. And it's a movie made purely for women. Some netizens said that this is also a movie that tests the hearts of girls. If you feel fake and naive after watching it, then congratulations. You are already a mature woman. If you feel endless aftertaste, daydreaming, then congratulations. You still have an invincible girlish heart. It is said that Russia is a fighting nation. But it is not at all ambiguous to shoot horsepower. I admit I was defeated by him. That beautiful and romantic love scene. The fantasy story full of imagination, treachery and tenderness. And the beautiful color that is backlit at every turn. It's just to make the old man's fanciful girl's heart ache. Which girl would reject a handsome guy who can be domesticated? Outsiders think you are cruel and vicious. But I found another side of your tenderness. And only I can enjoy your tender side. We live alone on a deserted island. Live without shame. Fairy tale life. This movie is like a sleeping pill in a dull life. He can let the girls have a wonderful dream in peace. Although the reality is still boring when I wake up the next day. But that dream can make me have more beautiful fantasies about life. Okay. That's all for today's explanation. If you like it, remember to follow, like and comment. So we'll see you next time.